Hello, my name is Omar Rampersad. It is October 4th, Thursday, 2018 at 8:30 p.m. in Toronto. So, I'm going to talk about some of the things that's going on in my workplace. Today, I went in a little bit late because I wasn't feeling well. And there is, as I said before in one of my other videos, there is this push to have me mentally committed. And of course, it's a conspiracy. So the people at work is taking part in this conspiracy. So they are submitting reports, and I believe I heard, I should say, I heard that this is one of the harassing comments that I heard over and over and over again, that Badr Nizar from Triavest, when I was working at Triavest, I should say, he's no longer there. Um, he had espoused me or made me a ward of the court because I was flagged and he had taken me out and submitted reports about me. But when he registered me back into the system, he registered me back through the court system rather than into the municipality's database. I'm not quite sure how this thing works because none of this has been disclosed to me. So this is purely from what I'm being harassed about. This is what I gathered. Now, because I am in the court system, then in the past 6 years, and all the companies that I've worked for, well, most of them, I should say, there were people within the organization who had placed themselves in a position of power over me, and some of them, in addition to being managers, where they would take on this responsibility from the municipality or the court and put themselves in a position to report about me. Keep in mind, I am a target. And as a target, the goal of targeting a victim is to dispose of them. So keep in mind that this is the end goal of being a target. So there were several reports from what I gathered that I'm harassed with that progressively, artificially criminalized me. These were all based on suspicions. And these are people who are signing affidavits and so on, saying they saw me do certain things. They heard certain things that I said. They observed certain things about me that made me look retarded or slow or whatever it is that they're trying to make the point of. So to try to make me look a criminal in a criminal light, put me in a criminal light. I steal, I stalk, whatever. So in the present company, I'm being harassed about stalking people. I'm being harassed about stealing things. I'm being harassed about being slow, being mentally retarded. I heard that a certain person in the workplace um, went to court and had court documents, transcripts. This is a person called Jay, who I work with. He stutters when he speaks, so he has a speech impediment that sometimes gets in the way of him explaining things. So it's hard to understand him. But I heard that he got court documents and he has all this information about me. So he's harassing me based on this information in the transcripts. Um, Whether this is true or not, whether they actually did this, I'm not quite sure. It could be that it's just a harassing tactic because I'm a target and I'm flagged. I did hear that I am flagged in the workplace. People in the workplace are talking about my being flagged as a prostitute and someone who solicits. The charge that was laid against me is being discussed in the workplace. Of course, it was dismissed because it should not have been laid in the first place. Um, so all of this is going on in the workplace, and I heard that someone called Shailan is one of the monitors who's placed themselves, one of them who's placed themselves in a position of power where they can submit reports about me. Again, keep in mind I'm a target. So also I heard that my sister-in-law had me um, declared mentally incapacitated as far as finance goes. Of course, none of this has been disclosed to me. I heard a Dr. Sang sign papers for her based on documents that she submitted. I was never taken to this doctor. I don't know who this doctor is. So I also heard that there was a prescription for a powerful sedative in the file that is in the workplace right now. That in the workplace I'm in right now. Now, obviously, I was never taken to this doctor who signed this prescription because this prescription is a very powerful sedative. Um, I forgot the name now, but it will affect your heart rate. It slows it down, basically. So, and I do have an underlying heart condition, so no doctor would prescribe strong sedatives that would have this side effect if the person was taken to them and if valid information was given to them. So, you got to wonder if this is true, why this doctor would do it, if he did it. And I'm not sure. There's a lot of Dr. Sangs out there. I'm not sure who he is. I'm not sure where he is. I am just being harassed with it. It's very interesting, though, that it is a Chinese doctor. I also heard that the gynecologist I went to get an examination, a regular examination, who's also Chinese, had her name on my account. Very interesting, because I am being targeted by the population in this building, and the residents are predominantly Chinese. So there is a Chinese connection to this harassment campaign against me. So let me address the comment that slow. I started 4 months ago in this building, in this company, in this building that there's ongoing construction in. And I've been suffering headaches and sinus problems and cold and flu-like symptoms, all kinds of aches and pains that a lot of people are also experiencing in the workplace, not only me. So I'm thinking maybe there is something in the chemicals that's being used and so on, and in the construction dust that's causing this, all kinds of inflammation and so on. So it could very well be that. I'm also suspecting that, as in this building, I'm suspecting that because I'm a target and there's all kinds of criminal information being made public about me without disclosing to me, I am being targeted by gangs with tasers, because I get these jolts of pain out of nowhere that disappears when I change location. And it comes and goes, sometimes when I tweet, sometimes when the people around me are making comments about the contents of this report that's public. I also think that people are voting on what they want. This is an experiment on the majority rules, I heard. So the information is being made public and people are voting on what to report about me. So do you vote on whether somebody is criminal or not, or do you try them in a case in the legal system to decide whether they vote or not? Do you vote in guilt? Do you vote in innocence? So this is all a part of a conspiracy. The voting process alone is conspiracy. If the majority rules, then if the majority says you're guilty, then you're guilty. But keep in mind, you're a target, so that voting is not a fair one. It's a biased voting. The idea is to degrade you, dehumanize you, and destroy you. So therefore, the votes are not going to be an impartial vote. It's going to be a destructive one meant to destroy. So this is no justice. This is not a justice system. It's a targeting system. So Anyway, I heard that somebody served a writ. Whether it's true or not, I got a call about a courier at my door today at work, and I tried to pick it up at the depot because I wasn't here to collect it, and the depot was closed. So we'll see tomorrow what the package is. I heard that there's a writ served for eviction or a mental evaluation. I'm not quite sure. Something to do with the neighbors. Keep in mind that the neighbors are targeting me because they're telling me I'm a target. They're targeting me and harassing me by telling me that I'm a target. Therefore, they are targeting me. I don't go around stalking the neighbor. I run from them. But of course, because I'm a target, just the opposite is going to happen. So it's just like my charge, the charge that went through against me 2 years ago. I called 911 and I got charged. So the opposite is going to happen. So we'll see tomorrow what's going on. In the workplace, as I said, there was some sort of an annual contract that's been extended. I think it's extended for 6 months. And there's a new envelope to try to get me mentally committed in the workplace. Now, why would a company try to get you mentally committed if they're not colluding with somebody else to do so? Is a really good question. I think people in the companies colluding with people in this building. And as part of the community targeting program, they are taking part in the targeting program to get me mentally committed because I am exposing a sex slave operation that's underlying this program, this targeting program. And I kept referring to Rohini Besasar in my tweets. There's a lot of parallels here, only I'm not Rohini Besasar. I will not act out in a violent way. Simply because different family scenarios, different makeup, personality makeup, different ways of dealing with the stress, different lifestyles, different belief system that will not allow me to become violent. So, while I make the comparison between myself and Rohini Besasar, the comparison is purely on the template being used to target and to degrade somebody who's a professional, to bring them down, to turn them, to recruit them as a sex slave. Human trafficking and flesh trafficking in flesh, is a very, 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 very lucrative business, and it's booming. It's growing, leaps and bounds. And we are living in a very corrupted society, unfortunately, getting more and more corrupted every day. So this is being more openly done as each day goes by. And women are being victimized more so than ever. And unfortunately, men are also being victimized in very much the same way and more, just like women, unfortunately. So we'll see tomorrow what happens. We'll see about, we'll see what that, if it's a writ that's being served via courier, or court documents to appear in court for whatever reason. We will talk about that too. So we'll update you on that tomorrow. Talk to you another time.